Happy week 30. It is, what is today? It's November 8th. It is currently 45 degrees out. I've been out here for probably an hour, hour and a half now, taking down the tomatoes. This is what's left of the cherry tomatoes. All the cherry tomato plants are now down, I think. I could have probably left them up and just let them ripen, but honestly, I don't want to have to come out when it's actually freezing and take them down. So I took them down now, and these will all have to just ripen in, like, paper bag or whatever. Obviously, a lot of these things are still on vines, but we'll sort through those. I couldn't even lift this up. I actually almost broke this strainer, I guess it is, trying to lift this up. It is so heavy. I'd say it's probably, let's see. Nope, can't even pick it up. Look at that. 15 pounds, at least. I mean, that's one-handed, and it's not a very good handle, so it's tough to tell. Maybe I'll go put them on the scale later. But anyway, also picked out, I took down one of the eggplant plants, the one that's in the raised bed, and so those are the two eggplants. And let's check, well, I guess I'll start over here since I'm over here. Penny wants me to throw the ball. So the cilantro is just doing its thing. My hands are filthy. Those are the edamame. They're ready for winter. I actually think that the squirrels and whoever else comes in here have eaten all of the little seeds that fell, so I don't know that this will come back up next year. Then there's the strawberries, which the runners have already been clipped. They're already moved to the tower, and this is just going into fall mode and winter mode. The raspberries are too. They're ready to go, and everything else is done. Those are just going to fall into the pot and hopefully create a new plant next year. And that's it for this section. Then over here, everything is just messier now. The lawn isn't mowed and all that sort of stuff. So here, I have to walk precariously because a lot of stuff. I also pulled out one of the kale plants. So that mess right there was the eggplant plant. There's actually another eggplant stump there that I can't remove. I need a shovel probably, but I can't get to it because of the plants that are around it right now, so that's just gonna have to stay there, I think. And then I pulled out one kale plant that was right there. It's just kind of looking really stringy and stuff, so I just pulled it out. And what else was there? The eggplant was right there. Kale was there. Then there were one or two cherry tomato plants here. I don't remember how many actual. I think it was one's main root system. So if you remember, that came out here and into a couple of cages that were here. We haven't been able to mow this for probably 2 or 3 months now. So that's what the grass looks like there. First time seeing it in a while. Oop, found a tomato. One got away. So then I left these guys up, the plum, Roma, San Marzano, whatever they are, tomatoes. I picked a couple. You saw them in the basket. I don't know. It looks like there's a little bit of life left in this plant, and there's not a ton of tomatoes on there, so I'm just kind of going to leave it for a little while. Maybe I'll take it down next week, but I'm also just kind of cold, so I'm just going to leave this for now. They're not really in anyone's way. Maybe next week. That also, all of this mess freed up the celery, so hopefully this will become bigger. I think the celery will do fine. Oh, I found another tomato. I think the celery will do fine over the cold, but it is getting sizable, so it might actually be ready maybe by the end of the month. We'll see. The broccoli is just still there, still no broccoli. At this point it's just a wait. I'm just gonna leave it there and see what happens. Really no expectations for getting broccoli out of it. We have the radicchio here. There's a root running there, and I actually have no idea what it's for. I'm scared to pull it because I don't want to. I'm just kind of curious where it goes. But there's a root running from something to something, and I don't know what it goes to. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4 radicchio heads here. That one had been blocked by the tomato plant the entire summer, so I don't know what that one's going to do, but these guys are looking pretty good. And the Brussels sprout, actually, it doesn't seem like it's grown much since last week. I don't know. We'll see. And then my one little pumpkin here, I don't know. It's not looking so hot. Then the kale is still kale, and let me pop around to the other side. Oh, and there's one more radicchio here. Then over here we have a mess of one more Brussels sprout plant, carrots, beets, more carrots, and Tokyo bunching onions. So the beets have actually grown. This is the first time I've seen them, I don't know, probably since last week, and they've grown significantly. So I'm pretty happy about that. What is that? Oh, interesting. They have like little green sprouts in them. Yeah, they're still growing, so that's cool. I haven't checked the carrots. Let's see if there's anything we can pull. Nothing looks big enough to pull yet, but I'm gonna get rid of that. So I think the carrots are just gonna chill there for a while. Over here. These guys have been in longer, if I remember correctly. Oops, found another tomato. That one's kind of small, but let's see. No one's looking spectacularly large, so I'm just gonna leave those two. And then that's it for over here. This is all that's left. So now that this is open, this might be where I put some leeks. I would love to, what is that? Oh, I would love to have some like interesting overwinter stuff, but I don't have it. All I have left seed-wise is leeks, and then things that wouldn't really survive the winter. So I think leeks are my only option. So they might go here because that is just, well, completely full. So once this tomato comes out, I think, then I'll put the leeks in. I know I keep saying it every week for like the last month, but the tomatoes are lasting way longer. And we had that crazy, was it last week, I think? It was in the 70s. So really can't predict it. All right, let me just put these tomatoes down and check out the other bed. I keep finding tomatoes in my pockets because I forget I put them there. I usually wear like a hoodie when I'm out here now, or jeans or sweatpants, whatever kind of pants I have on that have pockets, and I forget that I put tomatoes in them when I'm walking around, and then hours later I find tomatoes in my pocket. What's over here? My one pepper. Oh, it's actually gotten bigger. I'm glad I didn't take it down yet. So there's one pepper here. There's actually a little baby here. So I'm going to leave those guys. And there's a flower there. I think that's from the warm snap we had. I don't expect that to really turn into a pepper, but I'm going to leave it. And I'm going to leave that pepper there as long as I can. We have these eggplants over here, which I could pull out really, but they're not really bothering anyone. This would be a good spot for my leeks now that I think about it, but I'm going to leave them there a little bit longer till I'm ready for the leeks and then deal with that. Here's all the cages that came out. Well, I think I pulled 3 cages out today while I cleaned up the tomatoes. Oh, actually, while I'm over here, before I forget, I pulled out the cherry tomato from here, which was in, well, this is the mess that it left. It went all the way back behind that bike, twisted, turned, grew through the bike seat, all down here. It was massive. And you can see I've lost a lot of tomatoes along the way, but that's okay. Those red ones have actually been, when we find ones that we don't like that either bugs have gotten to or like have cracks or whatever, we've just been sort of chucking them back here, and that's the result. So I expect in the next year or two we'll actually have a lot of volunteer tomatoes back here. But for now, that's it sort of cleaned up. There's still a lot more like just leaf pickup that I have to deal with, but because I left this one here too, this is the other volunteer-ish San Marzano plum, Roma tomato, whatever it is. I'm gonna leave that for longer, so once that's done, then I'll do a big cleanup of what's back here. But for now, this is just gonna have to stay because there's the pot I usually keep my compost in, and it now is probably 4 feet tall. Alright, over here we have more carrots. So, oh, and the radicchio before I get into the carrots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 radicchio heads, and there's another one in there. So 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over there. 14 radicchio heads. I don't even eat radicchio, but that happened. So let's see if there's anything worth pulling up here. No. That guy's maybe. None of the stems are really, oh, another tomato, are really super thick, so I'm gonna leave them. I pulled one out, I think I said it last week. It was like yay big. Wasn't really worth it, so I'm gonna leave them in. From what I gather, carrots can just stay in the ground, and you can pick them all winter long, so that's the plan. And radish. Oh, actually, before I get to that, the cauliflower, the plants have gotten bigger. It's not looking like cauliflower or like it's going to produce cauliflower anytime soon. So that's what's happening there. And then the radish. I've been picking a couple a week, I'd say. Probably picked about 6 or 7. It's like a weird duck around here. Been picking 6 or 7 total, or have picked 6 or 7 total. Let me just climb back here and see if there's anything that I can get to, or if there's any cool giant ones. Whoa! Ow! There's like a thorn on there. That one looks pretty big. Let's see. Here's my finger. So it's bigger than my finger. I'm gonna leave it though. This one, oh, that one looks pretty good too. There's something going on out front. Let's see what's over here. There's a bunch going on down there. Ooh, hello friend. Let's see if I can get over there. Oh no, I lost my shoe. Hang on. That's gonna be uncomfortable. Got it. Alright. I see some big guys back here, but it's behind a pole. So, whoop, got it. This is a tough angle because I'm literally basically humping a pole. Alright. Whoa, check that guy out. Penny, no. Let's see. The middle area is kind of sparse. It's really back here and up front that I've had the really good radishes so far. I'm wondering if, since I'm back here, I should just pull it. I might just do that. Look at that. Hello. Anyone else while I'm here? Because this is not an easy area to get to. Just rummaging around. I don't know. Oh, this one looks interesting. It was kind of small. Disappointing. Oh well. Another one. This one was the white tip sparkler, I think. What else do we have? Anyone else? There's a lot of carrots coming in. I'm actually having to be a bit more careful because every time I was picking a radish, I was pulling out baby carrot sprouts, and that would not be good for my carrots. So let's see. I can see some good ones. Ooh, you. I want you. Ready, go. Oh, they look way better on the top. So part of it is that they're all different varieties. So some are longer than wide, and you can't really tell. But this is blurry. Focus. There we go. But I have to also be careful because I don't want them to crack. And we've had a lot of like moisture and then warmth. Okay, hang on. Let me get out of here. Oh, I feel like I'm on that movie that Catherine Zeta-Jones had to go under lasers and stuff. I was just in this corner, which is not much wider than radishes. There's something going on around here. All the birds are freaking out. The dogs are freaking out. All right. Anyone else want to be picked today? Let me go to the front. There's way better stuff in the front. Just climbing out of here. All right. Let's see. I actually think I picked the big ones that were up here already, but ooh, that one looks promising, but I'm gonna leave it in. I mean, on the whole, these radishes are way bigger than the ones I grew earlier in the year. So I'm pretty happy with them. Like way, way bigger. The ones that are kind of just starting or that I'm waiting on are as big as the first one. So yeah, all right. I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't really need that many radishes. So that's where we are. Spoils for the week, plus all of those. Actually, let me just go put this over there. There's the spoils for the week. All right. see you next week. I actually might switch to every other week now because there's not much going on, but we'll see because I still have some stuff to do. But possibly see you next week. If not, see you the week after.